Hello everyone, it's Skill here from the Grim Reapers. Today I'm going to do a very short video giving a quick demonstration of the Pimax Crystal using eye tracking and dynamic foveated rendering. I'm nowhere near clever enough to know the details of how any of this really works, but as I understand it, using the Pimax Crystal's eye tracking in conjunction with eye tracked or dynamic foveated rendering, the headset only has to generate the highest quality images in the area where your eyeballs are actually looking, and a lesser quality image in the peripheral areas. This obviously means that there is less demand on the GPU rendering the images and therefore results in a higher frame rate. I've been fortunate enough to be given access to the beta build of the Pimax client, which allows the eye tracking to be enabled. I'm also using the Pimax XR runtime and the QuadView's Foveated API layer, which are both produced by Matt Bucchianeri and are available publicly to be downloaded. Matt has also produced a great explanation of the technical side of things. I'll be using a very unscientific method to show the difference in performance. Simply, I'll be flying the same instant action F-15 free flight mission twice, once with DFR off and once with it on. And I'll show them side by side so you can see the difference in frame rate. I have the Pimax Crystal set to its native resolution, so 1 in the client, for both runs, and obviously I have the eye tracking enabled for the run with the DFR on. Here are my in-game DCS settings, which will remain the same during both runs. For reference, my system specs are an Intel i7-12700K, 64GB of system RAM, and NVIDIA RTX 4090 GPU. Again, for this video, I've just recorded the VR mirror displayed on my monitor during both runs of the mission, so I don't think you can actually see the DFR working, as it were. Also, because I'm using OBS to record, I think I'm losing a few frames, which makes it look a bit less smooth compared to what I'm actually seeing in the headset. With the foveated rendering off, the frame rate was mostly hovering about the 50s. With some spikes up and down. With DFR on, it was mostly in the 80s, sometimes sitting at 90 and a few dips. Obviously, these are just my results on my system, and depending on your systems and settings, your mileage may vary. For any of this to work, the Crystal's eye tracking has to be working, and I think it's worth mentioning, once calibrated I'd found the eye tracking within the Crystal to work pretty flawlessly, and I haven't had any issues with it losing track of where I'm looking. Hopefully Pimax will be able to update the client soon so that everyone can have eye tracking enabled. Whilst flying with the DFR on, you can't really tell the difference other than the increased performance, as the quality of the image where you're looking is still brilliant. Very occasionally I can see a faint outline or a box in the periphery of my view where the rendering changes, but that's rare and so subtle that I didn't find it to be a problem at all, and I'm certainly willing to make that sacrifice to get the much better frame rate. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that once eye tracking is available to everyone in the Pimax Crystal, using it along with the dynamic foveated rendering, it can have a pretty huge impact on your VR performance in DCS. In my opinion, using the Pimax Crystal with eye tracking and dynamic foveated rendering in DCS is an absolute game changer. Not only do you get the fantastic visual quality of the Crystal at its native resolution, you get the amazing performance. Well, thank you all for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll catch you later.